Hey, Nelson, alcoholic addict. It's not my real name. I use a pen name here at LOL Sober. For the second time this week, I'm just gonna tell you a funny sobriety story. Maybe you get something out of it, maybe you don't. But it certainly was an important moment in my sobriety. It wasn't just a funny story, because this anecdote I'm about to tell you, it really changed my worldview about what relationships can look like. Because I know what I thought they looked like when I was active in addiction. And so when I got active in recovery, I learned there's a whole different way that you can relate to people. And so here goes. It involves my fifth step. The first time I did a fifth step, it was in the lobby of a very busy financial services building in New York City. So I'm sitting there in the lobby at this little coffee shop, and there's people just hustling everywhere, briefcases and high heels and yelling into cell phones and making deals, and capitalism at its finest. And so I'm sitting there, and my sponsor sits down with me, and we went through my entire fourth step, all my resentments, the parts of me affected by those resentments, and then what my role was in each one of those things. And it took a couple hours, maybe 2-3 hours. And the thing that was striking was right there, scribbled on the pages of an old notebook of mine, was the recipe for my addiction. There was just so much anger and fear and a big ego with low self-esteem and lots of self-pity and finger-pointing and judgmentalism. And so when I looked at it, it was a roadmap to addiction. It was what you saw. It was how you create somebody who has to numb themselves out to be able to deal with life. It was all right there. And so I went through it all, and when I got done, I was exhilarated, but I was also exhausted because it felt like I poured my soul out to this man sitting across from me in this busy lobby. And I'll never forget, my sponsor said, "Let's say a prayer together." So we did, and after that he said, "Hey, just wanted to tell you, you did a great job. You did some really good work here. It was hard, but it's worth it, and I love you." And I was very taken aback. I thought, love, geez. And so I said, okay, thank you. I love you too? And then we just sort of awkwardly sat there and stared at each other for a couple seconds, and I threw in, I feel like if we're going to love each other now, like, we should at least know each other's last names, shouldn't we? And my sponsor, he started dying laughing, and he told me his last name, and I told him mine, and he said, "What'd you think I was going to do, one night stand you here in the middle of this lobby?" And we had a really good laugh about that. But boy, the significance was, it was there. It hammered home the idea that I didn't ever need to navigate the difficult stuff in sobriety by myself. I had a community of people who loved me, even though they didn't know my last name. And for me, that's what the fifth step is all about. So as I left the lobby, I felt tremendous love. I felt loved, and I felt like I was able to give love and receive in a way I never had before. And hey, the best part, unlike actual one-night stands, as I walked back to my office, it was not a walk of shame. And so that was a beautiful moment for me. Thanks for letting me share.